It's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're going to be doing our June wrap-up and our July TBR. I can't wait to tell you guys about all the great books that I read in June during the Olympics readathon. Team Aphrodite came in last place, but someone has to come in last place, and we all had a great time, and we've carried on our discussions on my Discord, and we were really the best team no matter what. So we had a fun time. We've read a lot of great books, and so I'm going to talk about the books I read in June and the books I'm going to be reading in July, and let's just get into it because there's a ton. June was like, it had to have been a record reading month for me. I read 16 books in June. That's 7,850 pages plus one audiobook. I had 7 physical books and 3 digital books. We had 7 5-star reads, 3 4.5-star reads, 3 4-star reads, 1 3.5-star, and 2 3-stars. It was a great reading month. I can't believe how much I got read and how much I enjoyed all of the reading. So let's just get into the books. I'm going to go through them quickly because there's going to be either a live show or a dedicated review for all these books. If the reviews are already out, I'll put the links in the description below. If they're not out yet, they'll be coming out soon, so hang in there. First, I finished Arm of the Sphinx by Josiah Bancroft. This is book 2 in the Books of Babel series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This was such a great book, such a fantastic book. Next up was Dragonfly and Amber, which is also a book 2 in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. This I also gave 5 stars. I've gone through 3 of these books in my rereads now, and this one is my favorite so far. Dragonfly and Amber, what a fantastic book. Next up we have Fire's Keeper Daughter, which was also a 5-star read. This was a surprising 5-star read to me. I picked this up for my Aphrodite prompt, and I enjoyed this so much. My friend Charmaine kept talking about this book. She talked about it, and it was stuck in my head, so I had to read it, and I'm so glad I did. If you're looking for an Indigenous author to read, I highly, highly recommend picking up Firekeeper's Daughter. I think that is one of my top books I read in June, if not my favorite. I also read With the Fire on High, which I gave 4 stars. Trader's Blade, the first book in the Great Coats series, part of my Allen Challenge, the Library of Alexandria's favorite books, another 5-star book. The Return of the Sorcerer was 3 stars, and there's going to be a live show coming up on June 11th, next Sunday, on that with Christy Louis Dorsevsky in space and Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads. I can't wait to talk about this book with them. Such a weird book. The Hot King, book 3 in the Books of Babel series by Josiah Bancroft. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Sometime soon we're going to have another live show with all my friends like we've done before on these books, and I can't wait to talk about it with all of them. The Patience of a Dead Man, this was my Hades prompt, but also a birthday read for my friend Sharon Dwyer. We're going to have a live show with Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative, Sharon and Andrew at Get Right In, and Amanda at the Reading Writing Life at the end of this month for that book, and I can't wait to talk about it with them. Voyager, which is book 3 in the Outlander series, I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed this read, but it wasn't my favorite of the series. Crown of Feathers, 4.5 out of 5 stars. While I really, really enjoyed this book and all of the phoenixes there, it was a little bit Mulan tropey, but I really enjoyed it a lot. The Lost Queen, I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is book 1 in this series, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see where this story goes. This is kind of a King Arthur retelling spin-off. It talks about the twin sister of Merlin, and so we see some of our Arthurian legend characters come into play here, and I can't wait to see where they go in book 2. I also read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a little predictable for me, I don't know, it just fell flat for me. Couldn't connect with the characters, but I enjoyed the actual story of it. Ariadne, I gave 3 out of 5 stars, like I said, for Dark Matter. The characters I didn't feel like I could connect well with, but I enjoyed the story and especially the little side parts, the side stories. Also read The Library of the Unwritten. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and I enjoyed this story so much. I loved the characters and the story and the library, and everything about it was just so fantastic. I loved the idea of taking characters from stories and making them alive and part of the actual story. It was so fun. The Hero of Ages, Book 3 in the Mistborn series, Era 1 by Brandon Sanderson, 5 out of 5 stars. What a fantastic ending to that series. I don't care what you say, that is a complete series to me. I finally finished this series, so there. And then the last book that I finished in June was I Can't Make This Up by Kevin Hart. I listened to the audiobook of this, and it was fantastic. Hilarious. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars also. It was just like listening to his stand-up routine. It was so funny, so great, and just what I needed at the end of June to round it out. So those were the books that I read in June. My current reads, I am currently reading Fireborn by Rosaria Munda, and I am enjoying this so much. I love dragons and stories that deal with dragons, and this is a YA book, and they're kind of brought up in like this dragon school. Essentially, they learn how to bond with different types of dragons, and I love this book, so I can't wait to see where this story goes. And I'm also reading The Paris Architect, and this is a historical fiction book about World War II, and this architect in Paris is essentially building these secret compartments where Jews can hide from the Nazis, and I'm really enjoying this book. A nice kind of slow down from June and change in pace. Now, let's talk about July and my July TBR. As you know, my TBRs for the months are ginormous, and I don't usually get through all of my books just like I didn't for June, but I love seeing big TBRs and getting to pick which ones actually make it and which ones get put into my kind of carryover pile, my slush pile for later months. So I'm calling July the Jemisin July because I'm reading 2 books by N.K. Jemisin. The first book is The City We Became, which I'll be starting when I finish Fireborn. This is my Jessie at the Bookish Mom birthday read. Jessie's birthday was just this past weekend on July 3rd. Happy belated birthday, Jessie. I love you to pieces. Jessie is like my soul sister. She's one of the nicest people I've met on BookTube, and if you haven't already subscribed to Jessie's channel, you need to go do that now. I'm also going to be reading The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is a Patreon pick for me, so new this month in July. And going forward, one of my Patreons is picking a book for me to read every month, and this month was Evie, as she was only Evie. She has picked The 5th Season for me to read, and I can't wait to read this. I've heard such great things about The 5th Season, the Broken Earth trilogy, and N.K. Jemisin, and I can't wait for my Jemisin in July reads. I'll also be reading City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And this is a buddy read on Shelf Space with my friend Charmaine and a whole bunch of my friends on Shelf Space. And I can't wait to read this because I've heard such amazing things about this book. I know my friend Vish at Books with V and my friend Abby at Abby Salter Books both really love this book. I believe our buddy Sam also loved this book, so I can't wait to see what all the talk is about. I'll be reading The Wolf by Leo Carew, which is another Shelf Space Book of the Month buddy read book. Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian, which is my book of the month pick for, this was for June, so I'm going to be reading it in July and doing a book of the month review on this. Also, Abby's birthday is July 5th, and I will be reading ACOTAR, A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas for Abby's birthday read. Abby absolutely loves Sarah J. Maas and the whole ACOTAR series, and I can't wait to finally read this. I'll be reading Mansfield Park by Jane Austen as my Jane Austen book of the month, and I can't wait to get to this. I've read this one other time years and years and years ago, so I can't wait to get into this. It's going to be like reading it like a brand new. And then I'll also be buddy reading Malice by John Gwynne with my friends Charmaine and Katrina and Sharon, and I can't wait to finally get into this series. I know this has been on my TBR for months now. Every month it gets moved, but I'm definitely going to get to it in July, and I can't wait to start this series. I know Abby and Alan and Leslie all really love this series, and I can't wait to see what all the hype is about. And I've heard such fantastic things about John Gwynne as both a writer and a person, and I cannot wait to get into this series and start this wonderful book that I've heard such great things about. Also going to be reading Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. This is book 4 in the Outlander series, and I can't wait to reread this and have my reading vlog for that. So that is my July TBR, my Jemisin July TBR. Let me know what you read in June, what you're looking forward to reading in July. As always, my Patreon and Discord information will be in the description below. If you want to pick out a book for me to read in the upcoming months, join my Patreon. It's only $1 a month, and you'll get to pick a book for me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Keep reading. I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.